I was working with a student last night and he's doing really good. He's going through my sight reading book, chord book. We just do some short exercises, just a little bit every time, consistently, every lesson, and just a little bit. So he'll remember those little things and not get overwhelmed or bored. As soon as I get too much information, I kind of shut down. So I just need just the right amount. So I think he was working on Wanted Dead or Alive by Bon Jovi, doing pretty good with that intro lick, and he had the chords written out, and that was going pretty good. So we spent some time with that. And then we were looking at, somehow we got onto the topic of A5, the A power chord, and he was kind of grasping that is important. And of course I went off on a little rant about how that's the foundation of so many rock songs, the A5, and how I am kind of astonished that people can't hear that, how important A5 is. But he was going along with it, and I thought I was gonna. And then he started doing this. And I'm like, great, man. That's good. That's very good. And he was like, well, I don't know how good that is. I'm like, the fact that you have it memorized, that's a good step. And what I was going to write out for him was this. Which I call the big lick. And but again, we got sidetracked. I think I mentioned something about the key of A, and that got him really interested. He goes, well, what? I have no idea what you mean when you say the key of A or the key of D. He said, I have zero concept of that. And I'm like, well, I said, the way I learned to play in a key was kind of like, I always visualized myself as a caveman, just discovering like an electric guitar in his cave and hitting a power chord and going, what? And really blows his mind, like, wow. And he became like the leader of his tribe or something. But okay, I'm going somewhere with this. The way I learned to play in a key was maybe hitting that chord and hearing it, and then maybe getting some energy going, like, that's a start. Then I think we talked about going like, sort of a rock beat with that accent on a sixth interval, which I'm not talking about intervals or anything with him, but I think we did that. But then I said how as teenagers, my friends and I, my best friend Kirk played, he had an electric guitar, a Gibson, and my best friend Joel had a Hofner bass, and my best friend Steve had a Ludwig drum set. And we had these giant amps. I had a Gibson SG and a Mustang. And we would practice after school, maybe three to five times a week. We'd just rock out in the basement. And we knew a few songs, and man, I got sick of those songs. So I'm like, let's just jam. So from jamming is how we figured out keys. And we became pretty fearless with that. But we would maybe just start on A. And we knew this, this rock rhythm, whatever. But we would start going like maybe. and repeat. So and I would call that kind of like a trance music, or hypnotic, or monotonous, or just one chord jam. And we're just staying on A, circling around A. So I visualize A as like the tonal center, or A is the root. I'm just establishing that one sound of the A string. So that I have kind of, that's my take on it. But what I'm going to go higher with that. I'm going to do some stuff here, and I do have a Guitar Pro file I can send you, or a PDF. Just email me at hooverguitar@yahoo.com if you want any of that, or you can just figure this out. It's pretty easy. So, but it's kind of cool. Maybe I'll open that up if I can. And I wrote something out for him quickly. Do I have it? Yes, Rock Jam, key of A. Let me turn on my speaker. Both speakers. We're going stereo. Oh, that's not it. Why'd that show up? That's not what I clicked on. There. Maybe it saved to something else. Insane. Click on it 20 times. Open. I command you. Well, Jesus. Open, recent. There it is. Oh, yeah, okay. So, what I'm going to do is play some A5s. Bunch of those, like 4 measures. And then I'm going to climb up. Once I get up to that, those are both A's. This open A and the 7. I'm going to stay there a while. 4, how many measures? Looks like 4. Then I'm going to do this little figure like this. 4. Looks like 12 measures, and then so it should equal 24 measures, and then I'm going to repeat. So yeah, it's very monotonous, but if you add drums, bass, and another guitar, this would be just a foundation riff, and it's good timing. It's really easy. Add drums and bass, and another guitar player could, just kind of make stuff up, and so it would sound like something and so I knew staying in one chord was the key of A. Eventually, what's the most obvious thing? You might go to D, maybe C, maybe G, F, and back to A, or E, A. I figured it out, and that's actually more like A minor, or it's close, To play it properly in the key of A, you'd be... But I don't think that would have helped my student at the time to do. Let's do the scale. He's like, all right, here we go. Yeah, we'll get around to that later. But I'm just giving him like the first glimpse I had of playing in a key, or making a band play together. It's a super primitive, very caveman here. So I'm going to try to play this Rock Jam in the key of A. Now we're going up. I should have repeated that. I'm going to stay there. Now I'm going to do that little motion with a 5. start over. Now I'm going to climb. Stay there. Now the little figure. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Start over. 1, 2, 3, 4. I'm going to count measures. 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24. Repeat. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, this time I'm gonna try to play some solo business. Oh, it stopped. Dang, I was gonna rip. Okay, so that was 4 times through. Each time through it was 24 measures, which back then I did not count measures. I just totally freeform by instinct. So I learned to kind of think on my feet and not, I thought reading music was absurd when you could just hear it and feel it. So it was that's how we used to learn. We didn't really, well, let's get our books out and read a song. That was like unthinkable. I don't think the transcriptions were probably any good anyway for the songs we wanted. It was either you figure it out. There was really nobody to show us what to do. So we had to really be resourceful. It was really fun. So, those are treasured memories. But again, and the thing was, we could change keys. If we might be on A, and then I'd go like A flat. And they would shift and find A flat. And I might, whatever chord I'd go to, they would follow me. Or if another guy changed a chord, we'd follow him. But there might be a few stumbles in there. We weren't like totally mind readers, but we were getting there to where we could just follow each other from chord to chord and just make stuff up. And so that, we were pretty fearless as far as jammers. So this is just a glimpse of what it means to play in a key for me, for my story. Another way might be like in my chord book on the 3rd page, we have the A chord where we're going like, I do have some of these available, but I think it's page 3. Yeah, we start with these 3 primary chords. A, D, and E, which is like You know, everything. A, D, E. That would be A is the 1, D is the 4, E is the 5. So 1, 4, 5. Or like Johnny B. Good. A. D. Back to A. E. A. That's A, D, E. 1, 4, 5. What's 1, 4, 5? The scale will tell us. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. There's our 4. And there's our 5. One, 4, 5 in the key of A. That's, man, that's everything, dude. That's all you need. And then, yeah, your relative minors, the nice chords, the relative minors, which is like B minor, C minor, F sharp minor, G sharp minor, 7 flat 5. Those are your relative minors. So that would be playing in a key. You'd be playing those notes. Every chord I just showed you contains the notes in the scale I just showed you, A major. Again, every one of those chords is made up of notes of the scale. The key of A is A, B, C sharp, D, E, F sharp, G sharp, A. And you can play that all over the neck. Let me show you. The whole neck has those notes. Thus, you can find those chords all over the neck. It's a tangled up, messy jungle. You got to hack your way through. So you better get practicing, man. No, you don't have to know it all right now, but at least be aware of the scale, the 1, 4, 5, some of these dumb power chords. I'm just stunned. My students, I'm like, what's an A5? And they're like, huh, what? I'm like, what? What do you mean, what? You gotta know A5. You've ever heard of AC/DC or Aerosmith or something, you know, rock and roll? I'm old. Leave me alone. But no, man, I'm gonna keep trying to get people to know what the heck I'm talking about. And, you know, it just takes time. Everybody learns in their own way. Everybody's story is important. And I'm interested in your story too. But I appreciate you letting me tell you all this funny stuff. So, again, if you want the PDF of this little basement jam, kind of like a troglodyte jam or something, very simple. But it does have some structure. It is 24 bars. It's a steady 120 beats a minute. And yeah, if you get that Guitar Pro software, you can just press play and you can play along with it. We can jam, or you can just play along with me here. You know, the thing I did with the demonstration, you could play solos over that. You could play the big lick, which is 3 notes, A, C, D. And bend that D. Bend that D up to an E. Or a D, or a D sharp. That's just 3 notes. And again, you can find that up the neck. They're maybe different shapes, but a lot of them are the same. Same three notes, just different positions, different octaves, but it's still A, C, D. That's kind of a blues scale thing, or A minor pentatonic. That's what you do with that A minor pentatonic. So the dude just played the A minor pentatonic scale for me. Boom. I explode with all this stuff. That's all I'm looking for, is students just to try. Just try a little tiny bit. Give me a little something. Let me see what you're doing. And I'm like, wow. You just opened up everything. You just got to put in a tiny bit of effort, a little bit of time, think, listen, and you can play the guitar. Have fun with it. All right. I better go see what